Right, boys. So I'm gonna break this session down into two sessions, okay, in terms of like the pitch training. So I've always done it this way. So obviously there's a number of different ways that you can do the pitch. You know, everyone finds whatever they're comfortable with. It's just about kind of having a structure and following the structure. And now, if you've got your basic structure, you can kind of navigate your way through it in terms of how you feel comfortable delivering that pitch. Obviously, after like 6 months, you listen to the top guys in there. You'll listen that the structure's the same, but they've all got their own little jokes, their own little pauses. So what I'm going to do with you here is the exact pitch that I was doing when I was in your role. Yeah. So now, if I got on the phone and did the pitch, it would be word for word, pause for pause, question for question, joke for joke, exactly the same. It's just like second nature to me. So today, what I'm going to do is almost just like part one of the pitch. Yeah. Now in this pitch, I'll do it at the end with you guys. I'm in and out within 2 minutes, typically. Yeah. And in this first 2 minutes, the client knows where I'm calling from, what the call's about, what we do, and what I want. Yeah, which when you think about it, that's really, really key when you're on essentially a cold call. Yeah, you don't want to be messing around. You don't want to be like, taking up too much of their time for a couple of reasons. If you're calling people who is, really successful, really busy, yeah, you don't want to look around. You want to get straight to the point and get to what you want to do. And in this pitch, I always come down for the last question. My first question that I'll always get down to when I'm pitching a client, to start the kind of negotiation process or the questioning process you're trying to get them in the diary, is have you sat down with a financial advisor? Yeah, that's step one. Raoul, do you want a pad, mate?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right there.
So,
Yeah. Here you go, mate. So what I've done in my pitch here, I've broken it down really, really simply, 7 sections, and each section's got its own, obviously keep it really, really kind of open. So number one is just an introduction, guys. So, good morning, Mr. Client. It's whoever Naill calling from the big. And then that's do a first pause of the whole pitch. Now, I will always pause at this point and I'll wait for their reaction. Yeah, because what a pause does, is you're gathering information from the client without them realizing that you're gathering information. Okay, so what do you think their reaction? What reaction could you? Firstly, in that opening line, what do you think I'm trying to gauge the client's reaction to?
If they're interested?
No. It's just literally on there. One thing in that first line that I'm trying to gauge their reaction to.
The company name?
Correct. Spot on, mate. This word, the De Beer Group. Yeah. In the Middle East, you need to understand the market you're in. We've always been really, really quite a driven firm. So we're always speaking to people. Some people get called quite a lot. Yeah. So some people know that we call around, but sometimes a bit of a negative connotation towards us. So when you're pausing here, you're trying to gauge the client's reaction. You're gathering a bit of information within 5 seconds of the call in terms of how they feel towards those 2 words or that one word, which is the De Beer Group. Okay. Now, what do you think their reactions could be? You know, not in terms of exactly what the reaction is going to be, but what kind of reaction? What?
I mean, it will really depend on the individual itself. I mean, it's sales at the end of the day, so you're not going to get the same kind of response every single time.
Okay. So what do we think some of the reactions could be?
Quite to try and get off the phone negative.
Right, okay. You said one word there, which is right. That's one of the reactions. Negative. What do you reckon? Yeah, there's three reactions. Think up.
Positive.
Positive, correct. Nice and easy. And what do you reckon? Third one is.
Indecisive. No.
Yeah, that will kind of just like you don't know, like inquisitive. Yeah, a lot of the time. Yeah, you've got people who are called by people in banks and stuff like that. So sometimes when they're called, you know, they're typically, you might be like, you know, an Indian person called to them. Yeah, and usually if a Westerner gets called from an Indian from a bank, like, yeah, I go away. But when it's like a Western like kid calling them up saying, hi there, calling from the Devere Group, and you go quiet, and then like they don't go positive, they don't go negative, they'll go inquisitive. But sometimes they might think, am I meant to have a call right now? Yeah, and with this, if you get one of these two, or when I used to get one of these two, I was like positive. Yeah, that was a good thing. Yeah, if you get the negative, you've got to take the pitch in a different direction, which we'll do on a separate occasion, you know, in terms of what you do when you get a negative reaction there. But you get one of those top two, I used to think, book him straight away. So good morning. No, you know, I'm not going to miss client. No, Hourihan phoning here from the Devere Group. Yeah, go quiet. Some people ask, how are you? I never used to ask that for two reasons. If you get a call, hi, is that Kieran? Yeah, speaking. Hi, Kieran, it's so-and-so calling from this company. How are you? What's your initial reaction?
Why do you care?
Who are you? Like, what do you want? Yeah, it screams cold call. Yeah, that's number one reason why I didn't do it. Number two reason is that I actually don't care how they are. And that's the honest truth. Yeah, I'm here to do a job. They're doing their job. I need to get my job done. Yes, I'm moving straight on. So, morning, Naill calling from the Devere Group. Wait for their reaction. Next section. Before I go any further, have you got a moment to speak? Now, this phrase and the way that I've asked this, I think is really important. Yeah, so don't ask, is it a good time to speak? Because it's never a good time to speak. Yeah, not have you got a minute or have you got a minute? Like it's never a minute. You know, again, being a bit dishonest. Quite open. Have you got a quick moment to speak? This is a yes/no question. This is yes/no. Usually, you always think you shouldn't ask yes/no questions in sales calls, but I always ask this because I was always targeting, like quite senior level guys. I think it's just common courtesy. Yeah, if they're in the middle of anything, it's something, and then you're just like rattling out a pitch. There might be someone who's interested in our services, but they're actually just in the middle of something. Now they've got you on the phone to them, just badgering down. Oh, I'm not interested, mate. See you later. Lead dead. Yeah. Go, hi, I've got my own speak. If they say yes, pretty much them saying, pitch me. Go. You've got an opportunity. If they say no, call me back in 10 minutes. Well, no, don't, it's not a good time. Don't ever call them back when they ask you to. Take control at this point. If they say, no, I do not have a moment to speak, call me back in 15 minutes or call me back then. Like, look, turn it back on them and keep control and say, actually, look, you know what? I'm a little bit busy over the next couple of hours. Like, there's absolutely no rush, Mr. Client. Are you better off maybe Friday mornings for me to give you a call? What about tomorrow morning? Are you better in the morning, afternoons and schedule a time to call back? Yeah, so they might go, yeah, I'm a bit bogged down. I'll tell you what, tomorrow morning is really good. And then say, okay, I'm just looking at my diary here. Would you prefer me to call at 8, 9 or 10 a.m.? Go, right, give me a call at 8 a.m. Perfect, good stuff. I'll give you a buzz then. And make sure you call them on the dot. Yeah, if you've got a call back with a client, do not muck around. They say call me back at 8, and you call them back at 8:01. 90% of the time, they're not going to care. But there's that one client who you'll do that to. You come through 8:01, and they'll go, he's late, not picking up that call. Yeah, so it's really, really important. And why I quite like this one as well is there are a number of occasions over the 3.5 years that I was at BDM where I call the client back at that time, set time, and then they go, oh, hi, no, really sorry. Really sorry, man, something just come up. I know I said to you, call me back this time, really sorry. You call me back right on the spot. And I'll be like, don't worry, no worries. I appreciate you busy, mate. Look, should I give you a buzz end of the week? Next week? Yeah, next week on this day. I'll call them back on that day. No, I'm sorry, mate. I'm going to do this to you again, mate. I'm literally just running out the door. Have a little bit of banter with them. Don't worry. You're a hard man to pin down. Don't worry. And then I had a number of times where I finally get on a call back, and the client would be like, "No, mate, I'm so sorry, mate. I'm been dodgy, mate. But yeah, I'm good to go now, mate. How are you?" Yeah, it's like it's not a cold call anymore. Spoke to the client like 3 or 4 times, and they're like a little bit apologetic that they haven't been able to get on the call. Yeah, so again, it's just quite a good opportunity to potentially go on the front foot. That's not going to happen a lot, but if you do this and you're successful at this job, that will happen to you a couple of times. Yeah. So, intro, ask them if they've got a moment to speak. Second question to them, before I go any further, Mr. Client, have you heard of us before? Okay, so again, a lot of people will just say, have you got a moment to speak? Yeah, I've got a moment to speak. All right, perfect. So yeah, so I basically come from the debate group, and we're like, basically what we do is we help people with their finances, and then just start blubbering the pitch. And I guarantee you, every time you do that and you don't gauge the client's understanding of what we do, I'd say 1 in 6 have taken a meeting from us, know someone who works with us, or have been to an event that we've sponsored. Yes, they know who we are. And then you've got someone who's inexperienced going, yeah, make sure you say, right, before I go further, have you heard of us? Do you know who we are and what we do? Yeah. Because then if they go, yes, oh really? Yeah, I used to be a client. Or yeah, I sat down with you guys about a year ago, but nothing ever came of it. It gives you a little bit more information. Yeah. If they haven't, again, I'd be thinking at this point, if they go positive or inquisitive, yeah, I've got a moment to speak, have you heard of us? I go, no. By that point, I was like, there's no chance. If this person's going to diary, I've cocked up here. Again, it comes with confidence thing. It's something we like that the first 6 months, but when you get good with rebuttaling and good with all the objection handles, that was for me. I find myself 1 minute 30 into the call. I'm like, this guy's going to the diary. Yeah, so gauge the understanding of them. Whether they say yes, whether they say no, yeah, my next line would always be really positive. Like, yeah, well, okay, and I assumed you'd heard of us. We're a big company that work with lots of expats and sponsor lots of events. Right. So what this is trying to do, it's called like herd mentality, guys. Yeah, we like to group together. So when you tell the client, whether they go, yeah, I have heard, or no, I haven't, and you say, well, look, yeah, I assumed you heard of us because we're a massive company here in the Middle East. We work with loads of expats globally. We sponsor loads of events in and around Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all around the region. So typically, when I'm speaking to guys like yourself, they've usually come across us before or know someone who works with us. Yeah. Again, you kind of want to just gauge understanding and then kind of letting them know, right? We're a big company and a lot of people, I'd assumed you might have heard of us because we work with so many people here. One of the lines I used to use to say sometimes we're like one of those companies where you see the branding on the events, you don't really know what we do, so yeah. But then you go, right, well, not to worry. Let me explain a little bit about what we do, or if you have heard, let me reaffirm who we are. So the De Beer Group, we're actually the world's largest independent financial advisory. Then we come to our second pause of the pitch. Now, just like that first pause, we were trying to gauge the client's reaction to the word De Beer Group. So in world's largest, it's always funny when I do this, 'cause it's quite funny. In this world's largest independent financial advisory, what word in that are we trying to gauge clients' reaction to? No. World's
I mean, whether or not you've, worked with us before.
no, it's just one of those words.
And
No, so it's not world. It's this one, lads. It's finance.
Okay.
Yeah, gauging clients' information. Now, so a lot of the time they might go to Veer, they won't really know. They might think we're calling from a hotel chain. So hotel chain could be hotels back in UK. They might think that we're calling from the Diamond Company, De Beers. That happens quite a lot. At this stage, they know this call's about finance. Now, I'll give what do you think the reactions to this might be?
it could be like negative because they like on cap and advisor.
Negative?
Or positive and sensitive.
Quiz.
That's it.
Exactly the same, guys. Watch when you do this over and over and you get good at these pauses, the reactions are exactly the same. Now, if I got to this point and I get one of these, I know for a fact, if I get a positive and inquisitive, they haven't heard of us, they've said yes, it's done. I know I'm booking that person in by this point. Yeah. And again, it's just because you're gathering a little bit of information. You haven't even asked any kind of probing question. But by this point, yeah, they'll say, you know that they're positive or inquisitive about speaking about their finances. They know that we work with loads of expats. They've kind of, whether or not they've heard of us, and that they're even positive or inquisitive towards the De Beer Group. Yeah. Next section, I'll pretty much just, I won't, once they go positive or whatever their reaction is here, I'll say, look, just to give you a bit of an understanding, yeah, we help people from really simple services, such as, what do you think some of our simple services might be, guys? It's quite complicated.
I would say like some of the investment apps because
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there are three. You guys, yeah, it's early days, so I'll give you them. But there's three ones that I'd always go with. Yeah, and you want to be at this point. You're dropping hooks. Yeah, you're dropping hooks, and you're trying to get people interested. There's one service that we provide that absolutely doesn't matter where you're from. I'd say 95% of people that we speak to needs that we provide, and it is a valuable service, and that is foreign exchange. Yeah, so I'd go three at this stage. My go-to three were foreign exchange, national insurance contributions. So you boys have obviously both come from the UK. Your national insurance, what's that, boys? You'd have seen it come off each of your pay runs when you get your pay slips.
it's not like linked to your pension.
Yeah, exactly. It's the state pension. You can pay into the state pension when you move offshore. It's really, really worth doing. A lot of expats want to do it. Yeah, so national insurance. The last one is like mortgage services. Yeah, again, because I would think that these simple services, they're three areas that lots of people want. Yeah, and it's very, very popular. Mortgages. Anyone gets split. Yeah, if all three of us got £1 million in the bank account tomorrow, and in the lottery, you know, you're pretty much nailed on one of the first things we do. But yeah, we like one of the same. So everyone's the same. So we help with simple services such as foreign exchange, helping you get your money back home at a cheaper rate in the banks, or national insurance, so we can help you out to pay into that, or even like helping you with like a mortgage service, right the way through to the more complicated areas of planning, planning. This can be such as tax planning, purchasing property, or, and this will always be my third one, finding info on old pensions. Now, these over here, lads, what I've learned, these are hooks. Yeah, we don't actually really get paid on any of these. We get paid a little bit on FX, but it's nothing substantial. Over here, this is these are areas that we do earn revenue from. But what this line is designed to do is to get the client to go think, FX. You want it to go, I got absolutely screwed on my FX rate last time I said it. And let's go national insurance. Go, I've been meaning to do that. With mortgage, I tried to get my mortgage last year and it all fell through because I didn't go for a broker. Yeah, that's what you want on those. On here, purchase property, I think it's quite a popular one. You know, tax, people interested in paying less tax. You might want someone finding information on pensions. You might want someone to go, I've got a lot of pension. Yeah, so you're not going to like stop on these, but you just signed this section here. It's just you going hook, 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 hook. Yeah, and you want to just get them to go ding, ding, ding. Yeah, a couple of little things there. Even if it's one thing, you want to get at least one ding in their head. So once you've done that, you're going to have the last section. You don't really let them speak. You say, right, so you know that's kind of, I've tried to condense quite a bit of information down there for you. My first question is, since you moved out here to the Middle East, have you sat down yet to review your options and entitlements? So now, key terminology here is sat down yet. We're trying to book face-to-face meetings, guys. Yeah, what's this? About them knowing it, they automatically envision themselves sitting down with a financial advisor, and then they will say yes or no. It's a yes/no question. So in tomorrow's session, what we'll do is I want to take you through the next section, but I want to focus on this part today. This is just the opening gap bit. So you can see that, you know, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to get you to time it in a moment. Yeah, once you've gone through this, they know you're calling from DeVere. Yeah, they know that we're a big company that work with lots of expats, so they're thinking, right, who else are they working with? Right, okay, they're big, okay, you know, big company here. They know that we deal with we're a finance company, and this calls about finance. We've dropped out a couple of things that we're helping them out with. Hopefully, we've got a couple of little things in their heads. Now, they know that we are calling for a sit down. Yeah, have you sat down yet? Yeah, so they know without trying to tell them, I'm calling up for a face-to-face meeting. It's like, it's in the back of their minds. Yeah, they know without kind of saying it to them exactly, they know that we're calling up for a sit down. So what I'm going to do now, when have you got a timer on your phones? I want you to, in fact, you know what, I'm going to do it here. So I'm going to time this. Yeah, Kieran, I'm going to pitch you there. Be nice.
Right.
Yeah, don't be horrible. So, and I won't look at the board. So you can see, so good morning, is that Kieran?
Yeah.
Good morning, Kieran. It's Naill Hourihan phoning here from the DeVere Group.
Okay.
Morning, Kieran. Before I go any further, I hope I haven't stopped you in the middle of anything. Have you got a very quick moment to speak?
Yeah, around 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's not enough, mate. So I'll get straight to the point. So, as I mentioned, Kieran, I'm calling from the DeVere Group from the head offices in Marina Plaza down in Dubai Marina. I hope you're going to make my life a little bit easier. Do you know who we are and what we do?
No.
Okay, not to worry. Mate, I'd only assumed you'd heard of us because we're a very big company out here in the Middle East. We specialise in working with lots of expats. We sponsor loads of events. So typically, when I'm speaking to guys like yourself, they've come across us or like been to an event we're sponsored. But look, not to worry. I'll shoot from the top. So, Kieran, the big group where I'm calling from, we're actually the world's largest independent financial advisory.
So I assume you're calling with financial advice then?
Yeah, exactly. So, just look, I mean, it's quite a broad subject, but just to give you an idea, we help people with really small services, such as helping you, we've got like an internal FX service, which helps you send money home at a cheaper rate than the banks, help you get up to speed with your national insurance contributions if you've worked in the UK, or even something as simple as helping you with like mortgages back here or back home in the UK. Right away through to more complicated areas of financial planning. So things like tax planning, make sure you pay less money in tax when you go back home, or purchasing a property, or even finding information on old pensions back in the UK or in Europe. So you'll have to forgive me, mate. I've condensed quite a lot of information, and a lot of services that we help people out with. It's quite a small period of time just then. But look, my first real question for you is: since you've moved here to the Middle East, have you sat down with a financial advisory to like review your options and entitlements?
No, I haven't.
2 minutes 40. Yeah, so I'm in, out. Yeah, you can see I wasn't rushing it. I was quite slow. There's one thing that I'll do with you guys now is, obviously I did all of those. My structure was there, right?
Yeah.
The structure is right there, just exactly. But you can tell that I've done that pitch so many times, can't you? You can just tell it's so. And do you know what the difference is? I'll always refer to it. It's the tip and tapper between the parts, and they're so. You don't even know what I was saying in between. You won't even remember. So what did I say to transition from there into there? Well, yeah, you went, yeah, okay. And I said something before I asked them if they got a quick moment to speak.
It was, sure it was like, I know you've brought your public papers or something like
And I hope I haven't stopped you in the middle of
that.
anything.
That was it.
Yeah, so I hope I haven't stopped you in your tracks, I might have said. I hope I haven't stopped you in the middle of anything, mate. Have you got a very quick moment to speak? What was the tip and tapper between this bit? You know what I mean? That's why it's really, really good to get this stuff, yeah? I went, hope you're going to make my life a little bit easier. Remember that? Yeah. Didn't really go in, I didn't do any real tip and tapper. Between going in for this one, there's always one kind of chuck in between here. So I went, yeah, look, I just assumed you know the bus. So they go, no, I haven't. Oh, really? Okay, well, I'd only assumed you know the bus because we work with loads of expats and we sponsor. They go, yeah, no, I have heard of you. Probably I would stop on if they say, yeah, I have heard, oh, brilliant. And be positive. Don't be like, oh, really? You have heard of us? Is it because we've absolutely badgered you for the last 2 years and you've received loads of calls? Yeah, is this because you've been cold calling? It's like, don't go negative. Like, oh, really? Nice. Heard of us. Have you been to an event we sponsored? Or do you know someone who works for us already? And then they'll probably go, no, you guys should constantly call me all the time. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, well, I kind of had assumed you'd heard of us. You go into it. Yeah. A lot of time between before this one, I always say, well, look, let me go from the top. Yeah, I said that in that one. Let me go from the top. And again, guys, look, these are just bits that I do, right? You guys are going to find different ways, different, bits to put in between this. But again, it's just a guide. In between here, I went, so financial advisory, you gave a response, and I went, yeah, well, look, just to give you an idea. Some of our clients use us for simple services, well, right the way through to the more complicated areas of financial planning, such as tax planning. I've got this recorded. I'll send it both to you after, but make sure you see how I had a little bit of a tipper tapper after each of these points as well. I'll let you listen back. We've got an FX service, so we can help you send money back home at a cheap rate in banks. We've got national insurance, show you how to pay into your NI whilst you're overseas. It's a really good thing to do. Or even helping you get a mortgage out here or back home. Yeah.
Imagine before any more information, the simple things that like these are more.
These are the things they want.
Yeah.
These are the things like my two biggest deals for BDM were FX meetings.
Can I ask, you see after you say the most simple stuff, do you pause and let that sink in and then you go to the more complicated stuff?
No, I just like that. This is a statement. I want to get through this clearly and concisely, and like I said, just drop those hooks. So only once I do that, I go straight in. So then, do you remember the last little bit of the tap I did?
Wait, so after you go for the more simple stuff,
Yeah.
say the more simple stuff, like we do the FX, national insurance, mortgages. We also deal with more complicated stuff, from mortgages to tax. Tax.
Yes, just go through, deliver it all, and then you say, do you remember what this last bit of the tap was?
No.
Yeah, when I said, I've condensed a lot of information down there for you for what we do. It's quite quick. Do you remember me saying that?
Yeah.
So I've condensed a lot of services.
Was that also for governance of the that's what I was moving.
Yeah. Have you sat down yet? So that's part one of the pitch, yeah. And that's it. Just have you sat down and say yes, no, question, yes, no, answer. And what we'll do tomorrow, first thing in the morning, that we'll actually do the second part. They go yes or no, and we're just going to break the pitch to two branches. Yeah, we're going to go through. Okay, if they say yes, you got to go 3 questions. If they say no, go 3 questions, and then it just comes down into the same response anyway. Questions?
Right, so obviously after you ask them, have you sat down with a financial advisor before? If they say no, would you go from there?
So
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Do it tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What we'll just do. What I want you guys to do is I want you to take a photo of this or whatever. I'll take a photo and I'll send it over. I'm going to send you a recording. I want you to write this up however you see fit, color code it, and get comfortable with this initial structure over the next couple of days. Have it in front of you. Yeah. When I first moved out here, I got that pitch nailed down and I just sellotaped it to my desk. And I had it there for the first 3 months. Then after the second age, I just took it off. No need to look at it. But I had it there in front of me. Yeah, just have it, just read it. I want you to do that. Go through it and try and memorize it a little bit. It's not hard. I know it's easy for me to find those, but it's not hard. 7 questions, seven sections. You've got, the intro, then you got asking have they heard, is it a good time, then have they heard, okay, shoes, world's largest, simple to complicated. Yeah, so just drill that, just get really just get familiar with it over the next over the rest of the afternoon.
Just a question I have as well. So you're saying like you want the appointments to be face to face.
If possible, look, sometimes you're calling over in Saudi and Qatar and overseas, then we do Zoom calls, but yeah, you want to.
So I imagine I think I'm working, like when I'm working for a while, like doing the lease and things like that, if I get a client from Dubai, definitely push for face to face. If there's someone from Saudi that mentions and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, if you speak to someone who's overseas, but look, what we'll do is we'll do an initial consultation on Zoom. But the thing is why I want to push face to face with guys is that Zoom has killed our industry. They really, really have. Before COVID, there was never Zoom, just face to face. Some of the clients overseas, you do a phone call, even worse. You know, but now it's so many people just go for a Zoom call, but clients can easily not log into a Zoom. It's a lot easier because like clients don't feel that they're like messing anyone around. Oh, that Zoom. Oh, sorry, I can't jump on the Zoom. Really sorry, I'm caught up here. You're saying, look, I'm calling my clients, my consultants in your building next week, seeing some of your colleagues. Let me get them to come stop past you, to give them a bit of information, put a face to the company. Yeah, and then they know that someone's coming out to see them. And on the morning, you call them up and hi there, look, we're running to Sheffield. No, I'll be with you at 10 a.m. as agreed. Yeah, he looks forward to meet you then. It's a lot harder. It's a lot of time people actually think, okay, this is a proper meeting. This is a face-to-face meeting. Yeah, so for you guys, I would just be focused and make sure you're trying to get bums on seats here. Look, I appreciate that a lot of people are on doing Zooms and stuff like that. So if someone's like, no, I just want to do the first meeting on Zoom, that's fine. But just try and angle face-to-faces because you'll get business done quicker.
I get what you mean. So it's like what you want is face to face, but if you really, really cannot do it, only then you can do Zoom.
Yeah.
Ideally face to face.
Yeah, I mean, look, gauging. Look, you boys want to just get, whether it's a Zoom or whether it's a face-to-face, it's a meeting. Yeah, it's good. If they agree to, if you speak to a CEO, he's like, no, mate, I'll jump on and don't be like, no, we have to do face-to-face. Like, no, I want to do a Zoom. But no, we can do Zoom. But just always kind of angle that face-to-face. So when that was my pitch. So once I got down to the second pit and they say, yeah, well, I'm up for a meeting. Always how I used to close actually. So I go yes or no. And then I go to the closing, part of the pitch where I kind of close it for a meeting. I'd always just have a quick Google that if they know work for a company, if I know they work for Shell or HSBC, I'd say, look, I definitely think this meeting's going to be a benefit to you. You're working with Deloitte, aren't you? Yeah. Are you down in the Email Square? You're at the Email Square offices, yeah. Yeah. Perfect. So that's the reason I'm calling actually. So my guy's down in that office 3 days next week. Seeing some of the other guys, I think there's a couple of other offices in that building. So he's seeing some people. So what I want to do is get him to stop past your office, say hello, introduce himself when he's over there. When's typically better for you? Better at the beginning or end of the week? Or sometimes we'll say that and they'll go, what days is he down there? You're in. Yeah, that's how I used to close the vast majority of my meetings. When I was BDM, COVID that happened. So there wasn't any of this Zoom or face-to-face. Like, look, booking face-to-face meetings. We'll come out and see you. Where's good for you? We'll come out. We're in the area. We're in the area. Well, when you say to them, like, you get that information, where the office, the company they work for, where their office is, and that we're down there, again, it's that herd mentality. They become a bit more comfortable. You know what you're talking about. You call someone up and you know that they're in a certain company at a certain tower, just adds credibility, right? You just like, right, okay, I can see you work for this company. You at the head office on, boom. Yeah, oh, right. Well, that's the reason I'm calling. I'm looking at my guy's diary next week. I can see he's down there 3 days next week. Well, I get him to stop past on one of the days he's down there and give you a bit of information. A lot of time ago. So if you're in that part, usually you'll get shut down quite early on, what you'll find. But when you get through, if you get down to here, obviously your chances of not getting a booking go really, they go right through the roof. So that close, it's really, really simple because the client's not doing much. You've had a bit of credibility. They've obviously bought into you a little bit because they haven't come up. You're just making it really, really easy for them. Yeah, we're in the area. A lot of people as well, look, we're in your office seeing some of the other people, again, it's that herd mentality. So a lot of time, they think there's some person in their office who thinks they're an idiot. I hope he's not going to see Clive. But Clive doesn't know more than me on this area. I send you a guy in there. Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously, there's a thing that everyone else getting taken care of, they want taken care of as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like the NLP is like, you know, the NLP, of course,
What's
right?
NLP?
Neuro linguistic programming.
Yeah,
That's a bit like the NLP.
yeah, 100% it is. A lot of this stuff is, you know, in the second, I'll do a whole session on stuff like that. Because there's lots of,
I don't know if you've
lots of
heard of
psychology around languages. Like another thing that I'll do with you is about loading questions. Yeah, human brain is very, very lazy. So you can see there what I did last week, what I said, what I said a minute ago. I said, when's usually better for you, beginning or end of the week? Yeah, so when you close someone down from me, go, when's better for you, beginning or end? The brain doesn't go middle. It goes end. Okay, would you prefer Thursday or Friday? Friday. Okay, wait a second, I'll get the diary here. Right, we can do late morning, lunchtime, or early afternoon. Early afternoon, one or two, two. Yeah, so you give them the answer, but they take you to where in the diary where it's free for them. Yeah, so it's things like that is.
Yeah, another thing that I learned is using phrases like "by now." So one of the things I would use on the phone next to sell code is "by now, John. I assume you're pretty tired with the returns that you're getting from XYZ investment that you have going on." And I use the phrase "by now," and I'll use that same phrase, but obviously you have to be natural. You can't just say "by now, by now, by now," because obviously you're gonna know. But I use little phrases like that will get them in the mood to buy now, pretty much.
Yeah. I haven't heard that one, but it's good. Yeah, that's a lot, guys. I'm going to leave it there for now. So I'll let you boys write that all up. I'll take a photo. We'll start that there.